So, Cancer Research UK put out an advert recently that has caused quite a stir in the SJW community. The advert itself is a picture of the word obesity with some letters missing, and underneath it says, "Guess what is the biggest preventable cause of cancer after smoking?" And any normal person, any sane human being looking at that would say, yeah, obesity. Second biggest cause of cancer outside of smoking. Maybe if I'm obese, I'll go and do something about that. Or they'll just look at it, maybe they're not obese, and they'll go, didn't know that, and carry on with the day. That's how most of these Cancer Research UK adverts tend to go. But it's raising awareness. But in the eternal crusade of autism that is social justice, there has to be an issue with everything. And this advert is certainly no different. People are claiming the advert is fat shaming. Yeah, an advert designed to call attention to the fact that being obese puts you at risk of cancer in the attempt to actually maybe save someone's life is in fact fat shaming people. Yeah. This all started with a Danish comedian, interestingly enough, called Sofie Hagen, who's been living in the UK since 2012 and has been on the BBC a number of times, has tweeted out a picture of the poster with the caption of, "Right, is anyone currently working on getting this piece of shit cancer research advert removed from everywhere? Is there something I can sign? How the fucking fuck is this okay?" Now, I admit, I saw that tweet just browsing through Twitter, and I got really confused because I don't see anything wrong with that advert. And I'm pretty sure that most normal people wouldn't see anything wrong with that advert because it's presenting hard facts in the attempt to maybe help somebody out. But naturally, people that are not normal and people that have these ideas that everything is about them have come out of the woodwork to support Sofie in what she said. Another Twitter user tweeted out saying, "I have to pass this 3 times on my journey to and from work, and one of them is a house-sized billboard. I'm stopping any support of Cancer Research UK until they quit shaming me." As usual, it's going to always be about them. They don't agree with something, so therefore they are going to stop donating to a charity which is trying to find a cure for one of the biggest causes of death around the world out there. They want to stop all of that from happening and want to stop any kind of donating to maybe save somebody's terminally ill mother because they think that they are being attacked by an advert that is purely stating fact. Attacked by a fact. Now, Cancer Research UK have had Linda Bald, who is a prevention expert in the field of cancer, come out and give a statement that says, "The aim of the charity's campaign is to raise awareness of the fact that obesity is the biggest preventable cause of cancer after smoking. This is not about fat shaming. It is based on scientific evidence and designed to give important information to the public. Only 15% of people are aware that obesity is a cause of cancer. Cancer Research UK has a duty to put that information in the public's domain." In addition to raising awareness, the campaign aims to help stem the rising tide of obesity by urging the government to create a climate that makes healthier food choices easier for everyone. Now that sounds like a pretty decent response. That sounds like saying, yeah, we don't mean to fat shame, but these are hard facts that you have to learn and you have to understand that this is what happens to the human body. And I'm sorry that if it causes any offense, it has to in order to be effective. And everyone will look at that and go, yeah, okay. But not Sofie Hagen. No. Sofie Hagen decided to then tweet back at Cancer Research UK after this response was released, and she did the usual thing of making unsubstantiated claims and not providing a source for any of the information that she's found. Where she says, BMI has been debunked decades ago. It is not a valid way of measuring anything. On the contrary, dieting has been proved time and time again to be one of the worst things you can do to your body. Your campaign is so damaging and fat-shaming, and I really hope it gets taken down. Now, there's been a few supporters of the advert that have come out and defended it, which is fair enough. There's always going to be people on both sides of the argument. Someone on Twitter posted saying, I got taught this in primary school. If you smoke/become obese, your chances of getting cancer increase. In no way is it offensive. You may feel personally attacked, but the point in this advert is to raise awareness. Except, they really have no reason to feel personally attacked, because the advert wasn't personally attacking anyone. It was presenting information. If it was personally attacking them, it would say, Sofie Hagen, you are obese. Which, actually, now that I think about it, that wouldn't even be personally attacking them, because that's still stating a fact. If it said something along the lines of, Sofie Hagen, you're a fat whore, that would still be stating a fact, but it would also be personally attacking someone. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole argument about body positivity. I believe as long as somebody is healthy, and as long as somebody feels comfortable in their own skin, as long as that person isn't damaging themselves in any way, yeah, you can look at your body and say, I am confident in how I look. Everyone can do that. I do that, even though I look fucking disgusting. I also do that. But a lot of these body positivity advocates put out information that outright tells someone to be unhealthy in their lifestyle, and they should celebrate that, which is completely and utterly ass backwards. No, you shouldn't. Now, the one question we have to ask is, why did Sofie decide to jump on this bandwagon? Why did she decide to start this whole shitstorm up? Why did she stir the pot? So I went and found some of the stand-up, and it was only 4 minutes of it, and I couldn't get through the 4 minutes because she is woefully unfunny. But I'll play you some clips, and maybe we can figure out why it is that she decided to get so offended about this.
And in the process of him flirting with me, I learned a whole new word, because he came up to me and said, hello, I am a bit of a chubby chaser. For those of you who don't know, a chubby chaser is a person who will only sleep with fat people. Now that I don't mind, I thrive on that. What I mind is the word chubby chaser, because let me tell you one thing, there's never really a need for a chase. Basically, I kind of like the word chubby chaser because it's a word that describes me. But I like my body and I like being fat. Just being the first fat girl he's gonna sleep with for fat people. Fat.
So yeah, her entire routine is literally just based around her being fat. So it's pretty obvious to me that she's scared by this campaign. She's worried this campaign is going to make people think that being fat is a really bad thing, and then they're not going to find her funny anymore. First of all, I don't think many people find you funny anyway, given the like to dislike ratio on the video, except for these fucking soy boys here. Fucking, just fucking look at them. Have you ever seen a lack of testosterone quite like that? But secondly, yes, being obese is a bad thing. That's just a fact. Being overweight is unhealthy. Being overweight leads to a higher risk of cancer. Being overweight is nothing to be glorified. Now, I couldn't give a shit about what a comedian bases their comedy routine around. If it's making you money, you go ahead and do that. The thing about comedy is, you remove a lot of the seriousness from what it is you're joking about. And if you joke about it often enough, people will forget the seriousness of whatever issue it happens to be. But then when someone tries to add that seriousness back in, you can't then be offended at that, because you just have to admit that there is a seriousness behind it. Obesity is a serious issue. If you joke about obesity and make fun of fat people, or make fun of the fact that you are fat, that then loses a lot of the impact to you that obesity isn't that big of an issue, because I am obese, but I find it hilarious, and therefore I'm not affected by it. But then when someone says, actually, no, obesity is a serious issue, you can't then completely ignore them and try to get their opinion struck down. And you don't attack a fucking cancer charity because they might hint at the idea that obesity is a bad thing. I don't get offended, and I'll make jokes about almost anything. I'll make jokes about rape, make jokes about autism, make jokes about anything really. But when I see a woman complaining about injustice for rape victims, I don't get offended. When I see a woman saying that being raped ruined their lives, When I hear that a woman has killed herself because she was raped, I don't get offended at that. Because it's a serious fucking issue. I don't get offended at autism charities because I find autistic people funny. Or I find using the word autist funny. I can't be offended when people try to better the lives of an autistic person because I find it funny. And you can't either. And the fact that you're attacking a charity that is designed to help people with terminal fucking illnesses to find a cure for those illnesses. There are kids out there that are about less than 1 year old that have terminal cancers. And by you getting people to boycott it because your precious little fucking feelings are hurt, you're robbing that kid of a chance at life. You're robbing a family of their father, of their mother, of their grandparents, of their children. Because you don't seem to understand that being obese is a bad thing. And you think it's attacking you. Basically what I'm trying to say is, you're a cunt. You need to stop being a cunt. Either find better material, find new material, or shut the fuck up.